Well, good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be cleaning out the bean planter. It's over at the farm, so I'm gonna go over and get that and come back to here so it's easier to work, and clean out all the boxes and plates and grease it and wash it and grease it. So yeah, as we're driving by here, the sorghum Sudan is up. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of road in there, so yeah, it's up, and we're at the farm here, so we'll get the 50 and head on back home. And just a few short seconds later, we're here. I'm gonna see how many beans are still in here. Actually, oh, I forgot Dad only had beans in a couple of the boxes. But so it shouldn't take too awfully long to clean out. I think there's just beans in this row unit, that one. Those are the only two, maybe. I'm not sure, but well, I noticed that the two, I think they have the hydraulic blocks in. The two tires here are a little squatty, but that's because all the weight of the planter is on those two. These two are lifted up a little bit because it leaked down or whatever. So I'll actually see how much is in there, how much squattier they're going to be if everything's up. We may have to stop up there at the shop up there and check air pressure. So just check oil here first. It's on this side. Yes, it is. We're not going to be running it for too long, but yep, we're good. This thing does leak oil, so alrighty. Oh, this thing. There we go. Alright, we'll hop up in here and head on home. Just a little, well, I think that outside one right there is squatty, and then that one, but the other two over here seem to be just fine. So I'll throw some air in before we leave. So, alrighty, guess we'll see y'all at home. As you could tell, we are home now. We had some. I was pretty sketching it there for a minute. I do not remember this thing being so wide. I don't know why. It seems like it was 32 row planter that I was trying to fit down a 20 foot or 15 foot wide road. But so like I said earlier, I'm gonna clean out these boxes. I shouldn't have to take the plate off, I don't think. Maybe I might actually have to, I don't know. But so yeah, there's only a couple of these in here, like I said earlier, so then I have to grease it. Not really sure where all the grease zerks are on this. There's two right here. There's that one right there. Is that it? Maybe a row per row unit. There could possibly be a couple on the markers and stuff like that. So alright, I'll get to it and then catch back up with you guys. Well, I changed my mind. I'm going to show you guys how this works. There's a little screw, a little cap thing over here that you undo, and it'll get rid of a bunch of beans that were in the boxes, still. I guess I'd I'd never taken these off. Our older white planters, they have like it's a cap and then a rod that shoves all the way up to in here, so it'll actually stay up in the box. It won't go down there. And then I will see if I can get this bucket in there. No. To get this plate off, so I can empty up the plate. Oh my gosh. There. Let's unscrew this. Just get that right there, and then somehow, good old Folgers. Here, I'll see if I can save a bunch of these beans here from going everywhere. I may not be able to. Maybe I'm not supposed to take this plate out. It seems to be in there pretty tight. Well, I'll figure out how to get that plate off, and then I'll clean out the other couple of rows that have beans in them. Well, we got all the beans cleaned out. There wasn't too much in there, so now I'm going to power wash it, and then I'll grease it. So I'm going to set you guys up on another time lapse, and y'all can watch me power wash this thing off. As you just saw. Now I'm going to go through and grease it. Like I said before, I think there's just 3 per row unit, or about at least back here. I'm not sure. I'll keep looking around for others. I'm sure there are somewhere, but we'll grab the new, it's here. Well, I was gonna grab the brand new Milwaukee grease gun, but it's not over here. It might be somewhere else. I'll find that, and then I guess, and then we'll go ahead and go out there and start greasing. So I did find the grease gun then. Full battery and everything. What do you want to bet? It's going to be out of grease when I start. That's how they always are. So I have another stick sitting right there for when that one runs out of grease here in about 2 seconds after I start. So we'll go out there and start up, and then I'll do that, and then we'll probably take the planter back. So take this. I have my gloves on because I don't want grease all over my hands, and it's really hard to hold paper towel. So I'll sit you guys there and pull this out and see if these grease zerks will take any grease or not. Well, yep, they will. That one will. Anyway, So there's these two on the depth setter, and then there's one more on the the crank here. Shouldn't take too much grease at all. Maybe put a little bit too much grease in there. But I think those might be the only three. I'm not sure. We will see though. Well, that didn't take as long as I thought to, or it took longer than I thought to get to empty a tube. I was just gonna show you. This is the only reason I grease, right here. Pull that little tab off. That's the only reason I do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't find me anywhere within 10 miles of a grease gun. Just kidding. But that's my favorite part. So I'll keep going. I got to row 10 or 11, I think, so not too much more to go. So, well, we got all done greasing. There was one on each no-till halter right there. You can see there's a bunch of grease there, and there are two on the under here for this bearing or hinge, whatever. Then there's two up there on this side for that one, and then there's two on each clutch, which there's two of those. There's one on this half, and then there's one on that half of that clutch. So there's two on there, and then there's two on the other side, and then obviously the marker over there. So I think I'm done. I'm going to take this back over to the farm. I'm going to pull it forward and spray the pad off because there's a bunch of water and mud and stuff on it. So just making sure I didn't miss any grease zerks anywhere. Nope, not there, not there. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to wash the pad off, and then we'll head on back over to the farm and come back and work on some other stuff. So we're back here in the 5088. I was just going to show you some things around that's unique about them. Like I've said before, this is the last series, the 88 series. This is the last series that International Harvester made. I know there was a 3488. Well, I'm not sure of the small. I think there's a 34, 36, and then a 5088, a 5288, and a 5488 that they made. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm not quite sure on the smaller models, like I said. But I said the other day about the IH International Harvester getting in late in the game with power shift, and they technically, if you wanted to think about it, they technically didn't get into the game with power shift. They ran out of money close to the end there, and they and then that's when Tenneco bought them out, and it became Case IH, and then it became the Magnums, and then it was a full power shift with 18 power shift forward gears. But this is as close to the power shift as International Harvester got. So you have your speed here, or your range, I'm sorry, high, medium, low, and reverse. And then you have your range, or your speed, sorry. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the speed, you can change between 1 and 2 on the go. But you have to push the clutch in to go from 2 to 3. Like that, and then ball, you keep going, and then ball, and then you have to push the clutch in to go from 4 to 5. Ball, and then 5 to 6. You can switch. So that is as close to a power shift. Like I said earlier, International Harvester ran out of money towards the end there, so they this is as close to a power shift as they got. And then yeah, I'm basically repeating myself at this point. But so yeah, that's some packs. Like I also said before, this has a forward airflow on it. So those two black things, that's the grill. The radiator is underneath that, and then it blows all the air forward. It pulls in from the top and blows it forward. That was so you didn't get so much trash clogged up on the front. But this is also a 1086 dash. Everything on here is a 1086 besides, or an 86 series, I'm sorry. Except for the torque amplifier right here. And everything, I believe the remotes were still over here, but everything else, the gear shifting, it was over here. And I can't remember how that gear shift pattern worked, but so yeah, that's just some history for you. So enough chattering, wasting daylight here. We are gonna head down back over to the farm and put this away and then head on back. So we'll see you back here, or actually probably later this evening. So we're back over here at Uncle Greg's at the farm. I backed the planter in there, as you can see. But just waiting for this thing to cool down. One thing I wanted to say before I forget, we are coming up on the half century of progress show in Rantoul, Illinois. It is August 21st, 22nd, 23rd, I believe. We will be attending that. It's an old Air Force base full of old tractors. Like, we are gonna, well, yeah, we're full of old tractors. You got International Harvester, you got John Deere, you got Oliver, Alice Chalmers, like a bunch of Fords. You got Fords there, a bunch of different old tractors, and they're working. They're all working. They're all plowing. Well, most of them. Some of them are on display, but most of them are plowing, picking corn, disking, hauling corn cobs from the shellers. So yeah, a vast majority of the tractors there are working. It's a working antique farm show. This year they are trying to organize and get, oh gosh, I forget what their goal is now. It's somewhere over 300. They keep changing it because more people are signing up and they realize over 300 1206s. It's the birthday of the 1206, 50 years, I think, no, 60 years. Yeah, 1965. So yeah, they're trying to get 300 or 350. They keep changing the number. 1206 is there, and yeah, we're obviously taking ours. But so yeah, we're taking the 1206, the 706, and 2 barge wagons. We will be hauling shelled corn from the combines. There's old combines there too. We will be hauling shelled corn from those guys to a huge grain cart on one of the runways. But yeah, so if you're not doing anything in the third weekend of August, come on over to Rantoul, Illinois, to the Half Century of Progress show. We will be leaving the Wednesday before, probably the Wednesday evening before. Dad's gonna probably leave the Wednesday morning before. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So he's gonna leave the morning of the Wednesday and go there and unload everything, and we'll be taking we've actually planned out more of this than we've ever have. But then Mom and Dessa and I will probably be going with the camper after school, and then we'll spend all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and come home on Sunday. So yeah, we are T-minus 33, and if you know what I mean, if you know, you know. 34 days is when it actually starts. So yeah, come on out to Rantoul, Illinois, Chinook, something like that. Air Force Base and Rantoul. So there's also tractor pulls. Actually, like IPL is going to be there. I think Illinois Tractor Pullers Association is going to be there. They usually are. So yeah, come on out to Rantoul in August. So that's all I had to say before I forgot. So I'm gonna shut this guy down and oh, one other thing, they also have a couple steam engines there usually plowing, and a couple big old four-wheel drives plowing there as well. So I don't think Welker Farms' Big Bud is going to be there. They haven't. I don't think they've been there in the past couple years, because I think every year that the Half Century of Progress is in Illinois, the Farm Progress show is also in Illinois. So on the odd year, it's a biannual event. So anyway, enough jabber. I'll shut this thing down and then we'll go home. So well, it's now about 4:30 or so, I'd say, without looking at the time. I just fed the cows up back here. I'm gonna check on the status of this guy right here. This is the one that was limping on its back right foot. He doesn't seem to be, but yesterday he was pretty bad again, so I don't know what's going on. He's doing fine, I think. Looks like he's doing fine, aren't you, buddy? Aren't you, buddy? See, oh, whoa. Gonna slip around there for a minute. Yeah, he looks fine today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. May have to just give him a shot and another shot, and so he'll actually heal. But this other steer and the heifer look pretty good. Yeah, look pretty good, don't you, buddy? Don't you, buddy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, well, that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna grab these strings out of the hay feeder, and then I'll go back and check the water, and then we'll go on home. So again, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on what that steer looked like and how he was progressing. But so yeah, so well, we're back down here at Grandma's. I just wanted to come over and give some updates on how everybody's doing. These 3 feeders here are doing pretty good. They're just starting to warm back up to me after the fair. Or I'm like, oh, he's not too bad. But so yeah, they're doing good. And then these 2 gilts are also doing pretty good. I think I need to give them some feed, but yeah, other than that, they're doing really good. Not too crazy. She will be in heat at the end of the month. Like I said, I think before, but I'm not quite sure when she has had her cycle. But, we did clean out this barn. Put some stone back here. We did clean out all those shelves. We pulled the 806 out of here. It's going to be gone, so no longer will we be able to brag that we have all the, or not brag, but say all that we have all the 06 series. We have the 806s pulled out of here. The Cub has some head gasket issues, so I took that home the other day and pulled the sickle bar mower off of that. And it's going to go someplace to get fixed. And we pulled a bunch of stuff from off these shelves up here, hanging up there, over here in this corner. Yeah, we have a lot more space. To be honest with you, I'd never ever seen this concrete floor in here before the other day. I think that was Wednesday, or no, that was yesterday, sorry, when we pulled that out. So yeah, it's the 80 is sitting right there, right out there. Got a bath this morning. I got a couple tenths of rain so it looks a little bit better. So yeah, we pulled out, so where the 12 on the skid are sitting, we pulled out some stuff there. It also gives there's a lot more room in there, park stuff. We also have some straw stuck back in the back there. But Beth, she is doing really good. She's eating. She's kind of starting to eat alfalfa hay. But she's also doing really good. So, yeah, all the animals are happy, healthy, and doing good. So alrighty, I'll feed Beth here, and then the kitty cat, and then oh, sorry, girl. And then yeah. So welcome back, everybody, again. We are going to take the little red here over to Grandma's, and or not to Grandma's, to the pasture, and put a bale of hay in for the cows. As you saw, they were kind of low this afternoon, so we'll head on over there. As you can tell from that time lapse, I think I'm going to take one of those grass hay bales back there. So I'll set you up here and you can watch us do that. Hop on, Dessa. Go. That's not too hard to do. The reason I wrapped the twine out was so I could pull the reason I wrapped it around the spear there was so I could pull it out easier. I don't really like using my hands to do that because it's sometimes really hard, sometimes really easy depending on how you put the bale in there. But alrighty, I'm gonna take this twine over to the burn pile. But stuff I sprayed is really kicking this stuff in the butt. I sprayed around the edge of the barn there the other day. It's all dying. All these thistles that I sprayed are dying, which is great. All the light poles I sprayed around are dying, which is also great. But no crops are dying, which is the greatest of all because it means I didn't get too close to anything. So, I think that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And guess until next time, we'll be out.